People like me in the future who go in, this can't happen to them. This is so wrong. What's up, guys? This is a completely unplanned, totally reactionary video. Like, I'm just sitting here working. I'm not planning to film for another 2 days, and this email just happened, and I need to tell you. So, obviously, I'm a little scattered. But it's good news. So, I'm gonna turn on the party rock, and let's talk about it. This is my new wide-angle lens, and it's way too big. Let's see if I can make it so you guys can see me. Tripod's too tall. This is the most groundbreaking CSF leak diagnosis update that I have given you so far. By CSF leak, I do mean my seasonal allergies that are currently dripping out of my nose. Yeah, we had some big stuff happen. I haven't even told my husband yet. Okay. I have 2 previous videos addressing this topic. One of them was telling you guys that I suspected that I have a CSF leak. And the second one, I don't remember if I lumped it in with a Q&A or what, but I feel like there was already an update on my CSF leak thing. I'm freaking out. Where we left off was they weren't convinced that my headaches and stuff were positional enough. And they really didn't want to see me, they didn't want to assess me, and they tried to send me to 2 different, the psychology and psychiatry and blah blah blah. That whole story. Well, that same doctor who sent me to the psychology and psychiatry, oh, I remember now, it was the day in the life vlog. I was filming a Q&A, and I also had a phone neurology appointment on the day that I vlogged. And you guys saw me just absolutely sobbing because she said I don't fit the profile of a leaker, and that she doesn't want to look further into my issues. She sent me to psychology and psychiatry, and I was just sobbing for a good portion of that video because it was so hurtful. Now, the thing that's so hurtful about them sending you to psych is that, for me, I know what my symptoms are, but they're really general symptoms. They're a little confusing. They kind of contradict each other because my disorders contradict each other. And I also have memory problems, so it makes it really confusing to keep track of everything. I mean, I can write literally everything down, but then I end up with pages and pages and pages. Let me put up a screenshot here. This is like my headache diary when I really went for it. I was like, this is bogus. Can't do that forever when you have to do anything else in your life. So the reason that that's so hard for me to hear is that over time, when you hear it enough time from doctors, you do truly start to believe them. If enough doctors tell you that you're crazy, you believe it. If enough doctors tell you that you're healthy, you believe it. Especially because they use these fancy MRI machines, you know? You go in and they're like, wow, yeah, let's do an MRI. And they're like, oh, all these fancy words, they are all okay, so you're okay. Let's get you happy. And I'm not down for that. I know that I fit the profile of something other than just migraine, and I need to get to the bottom of it. I need to, if I want to live. I can't be disabled like this forever. I can't. I mean, I can if I have to, but I don't want to. She also offered that I do a flat test, a 48-hour flat test, and I didn't think that I would be able to do that with the newborn. Our baby's 3-4 months old, and that was a lot to ask of my husband, because he had to take care of not only me and the dog, but also the baby full-time for 48 hours while I stayed perfectly flat. The point was to prove that my headaches and other symptoms were positional, which to me it was already proven because of my daily nap thing that I keep talking about over and over. But that wasn't enough proof for them, and they asked me to do the 48-hour flat test that was developed by Dr. Carroll at Stanford and is now used all over the United States, perhaps also all over the world. I was really hesitant to do the flat test because I was worried that I would put my whole family through this and myself through this and then let them know and have them say, nope, you're still not positional, and then we're back at square one and also I went through all of that. Like that, That's not a fun situation for me to end up in. So when I did my flat test over the weekend and I sent in my results last night, I was not expecting the wonderful email that I got just now that spurred all of this and made me all, whoa, anxious and excited and grateful. And the doctor wants to check me for a spinal CSF leak. They believe me now. I can't believe it. It's been more than 4 years since my first referral to psychology for this. 4 years. It's been almost 5 years that the symptoms have been so bad that I can't just ignore them. I got treated for chronic migraine and I kept telling them that something was weird. And they said it's just that you're complex. You're just complicated migraine. Okay. It's May 3rd of 2021, and in a week I will be turning 30. And it's really hard to be, this is my last week of my 20s and it's a Monday, so I'm like, yeah, we're kicking off the last week of our 20s. Like, this is just a really crazy way to be closing off this decade. I was 25 when my symptoms started. I had built up a really nice career and I had to quit working, I think, when I was 27 because my health was so bad. I had to move to a new state because I couldn't handle working full-time anymore and I couldn't afford to live where we were if I couldn't work full-time. And the coronavirus hit right after we moved, so I haven't seen my family in like a year and a half and I miss them so much. If I hadn't lost my job, then I'd be able to see them. They would have met their granddaughter by now. But I got sick. And the problem isn't actually that I got sick. The problem is that this exact doctor has seen me for this before. And in 2017, I looked back at the notes. In 2017, she noted that it seemed like my brain pressure was off. But then an MRI was normal. And then they said migraine. And that was it, guys. That one normal MRI. And that's a lot to take in. That's a lot to take in. What's really crazy about everything that's happened to me is I wouldn't change it if I could go back. Now that I'm here, I'm really thankful for what I've been through and I'm thankful for where I ended up. But people like me in the future who go in, this can't happen to them. This is so wrong. I just wish that the doctors would do some critical thinking. I told the doctors that I have to lay down every afternoon if I want to be functional in the afternoon. I told them that the symptoms that come up if I don't lay down are the ones that are on the 48-hour flat test questionnaire. There are like 6 symptoms that they ask about, scale of 1 to 10. And I said those 6 increase if I don't lay down. And they said that it wasn't positional enough. But after this 48-hour flat test result, listen to this email. Finally getting back to the point after my passionate rant. She said, "Thank you for sending this. It seems as if lying down for many hours was helpful." No shit, Sherlock. I do it every effing day. So, she's ordered an MRI of the full spine to assess for signs of a CSF leak along the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine. So we've got imaging. We've got imaging ordered now for my spine, and I am Thrilled. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled and I'm grateful. And you know what, guys? Truly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, better late than never. Better late than never. And this is a crossroads. Every time something like this happens, it's a crossroads. And now I get to decide whether I want to be mad that this didn't happen sooner or grateful that now that they get it. Grateful that now they get it. And I'm going to choose gratitude. I will. This is just so amazing. Gosh, I am just a mess. I'm so happy. Okay, it's May now. And last September, I started telling doctors that I think I have a CSF leak. So September to May, what is that, 8 months? Guys, it's been 8 months that they've been sending me to psychology telling me that there's no way I'm leaking. And now suddenly she's like, oh my gosh, let's image your whole back. She wants copies of my MRIs. She wants me to mail her a bunch of CDs and send some more results to other emails. Like, all this stuff that she wants to do now. It's like, it's so overwhelming. I'm so happy and grateful and excited. Happy birthday to me. Someone believes me. Someone believes me. I don't think I've ever had a happy panic attack before. This is like a happy panic attack. I'm so overwhelmed with happiness that she has listened. And what's crazy is, like, this whole time, not once has my mind been like, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm leaking, I have a diagnosis. I don't care if I'm leaking. I've told you guys so many times, I could give 2 craps if I'm leaking. But the fact that she is listening and she's like, oh wow, you have all these symptoms. There's clearly something up here. You're not just having migraines. You're not crazy. Like, psychology isn't going to help you with this. You know, like, that's the vibes I'm getting. This is different vibes from go to psychology, go to psychiatry. This is, you have a condition, not you're crazy. And this, like, shaking overreaction. This is half a decade of desperation all just spilling out at once. This is a lost life. Life as I knew it. The life that I had dreamed of and tried to manifest for myself that just got ripped. Oh my God. Wow. I think 30's gonna be good, guys. I think 30's gonna be good.